You may have heard the term that if you put garbage in, you get garbage out. Somehow we think that is different when we eat food. Our brain will not be affected by it, but it is affected. Something specifically which is all over the place in almost all fast foods and sauces and flavoring enhancement things that you eat has MSG in it. MSG, monosodium glutamate. What happens when you ingest it? The glutamate binds to the glutamine receptors in your brain. Glutamine receptors are there so that, let's say we get excited with a purpose. For instance, the building is on fire and we have to evacuate quickly. What happens is then the glutamine binds onto the glutamine receptors in the brain, exciting us with a purpose. If we eat the glutamate from the MSG, it excites us without a purpose. So you can't focus, you can't concentrate, you get anxious, you get angry, all kinds of weird stuff happens. And that's all over the place with your brain then. And you send your child off and think it'll concentrate in school. It's impossible. Second thing is if you eat the wrong breakfast. You must have a breakfast with an animal protein and a starch combined. We say according to your blood type. It's like trying to, if you eat something like muesli and yogurt or a cereal, it's like taking this piece of paper and trying to make a dry fire with it. It'll burn with an intense and short-lived heat. Same thing happens when you eat a cereal. Your blood sugar spikes. You feel amazing, but the blood sugar drops very quickly. Your child gets to school and it has no fuel in the brain to now concentrate, and it falls asleep, or your child cannot concentrate. Things like that happen. So we recommend, like if you want to make a braai, you use paper and wood. So if you use that analogy in a breakfast, it would be an animal protein combined with a starch, i.e. a little bit of oats with 2 eggs. And you can have eggs every day, by the way. But it's according to your blood type. Thirdly, you need to give the brain the correct nutrients. It's like if you don't give it the correct nutrients, it's like trying to bake a chocolate cake, but you have no chocolate. You can be the best baker in the world, but you won't be able to bake a chocolate cake. Same thing is true when you want to feed the brain. So for that, we use 2 products mostly. The number one thing is a very high quality omega-3. At the moment, I'm recommending Coin omega-3, purest omega-3. So you give your child the omega-3, and then lastly we use something called New Mind. New Mind gives all the nutrients the brain needs. Specifically, it contains a substance that you may not have heard about. It's called a nootropic, something that enhances the memory. It enhances the brain function. New Mind contains herbs that enhance the brain, that helps focus, concentrate. Things like gutu kola, ashwagandha, rhodiola. It helps to counteract the effects of stress in the body. It also helps to give the brain the ability to interact between the 2 halves of the brain, left and the right, because if they don't interact, you might have a great idea, but you can't jot it down, for instance. It also, when you calm down, it's easier to remember, and of course when you calm, it's easier to write your exams. So that's what we do for ADD. Number 1, you correct the diet, you take the anti-nutrients out. Number 2, you give the correct breakfast, and lunch and supper is important, but the most important for your child is breakfast, to be an animal protein and a starch. And then lastly, supplement with omega-3 and with New Mind. And if you have any other questions, mail us, or in the description below there is a link to Irene Health Shop's website, where I've written an article, and the article is called Help My Child Has ADD. Your child may not have ADD, but read through it and get the gist of what you need to do for your child.